Michael Buzzelli. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Funny man, comedian, author, columnist.
Yes.
Renaissance man. You have been a very successful comedian here in the city of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
But I see you everywhere. You're downtown
everywhere.
at Arcade. You're emceeing charitable events all the time. I mean, you've really
the
got a
Wall
lot of
Theater
work.
over here.
But you spent a lot of time in Los Angeles doing stand-up comedy before you came here.
I was always a writer, and I always wanted to write. And I had written a couple of comedy screenplays, and I went out to LA, and my friend read them, and she thought, oh, they're really funny. They're really funny. Why don't you tell me the story? And I pitched the story to her, and that was boring. I just told her like the basic, this happens, and then this happens. It was very dry. And she said, you need a pitch class. And it was $1,000. But right next door in that ad,
which in LA is a bargain.
In LA was a bargain. But right next to the ad for the pitch class was a $300 comedy class. And I was like, I'll learn the same skills. I'll learn how to tell my story in a funny way.
Do you feel that comedy is something that can be taught?
I do, because I teach a comedy screenwriting class. I do think comedy can be taught because it's a lot like math, unfortunately. It's, instead of, the equation is basically setup punch. Once you get that equation and you make the setup as short as you can and you just twist the tail in a funny way, I think anybody can learn how to do it. I really do. So give me your most humorless relative, and no, don't. Everybody has that one aunt. Nothing good's ever happened to her in 90 years.
But so you just made her funny. I mean, I'm laughing at that. I want to talk to her. I want to hear a monologue from her. So I was saying to Morty the other day, I mean, already it's comedy. So you're right. You just proved your equation.
Well, I think if you can recognize funny is more. If you have the ability to recognize what's funny, you can be funny.
Okay, so from LA to Pittsburgh.
Yes.
That's quite a walk.
It was a drive, and it was quite a long drive. I moved to LA. I lived in LA 10 years. I loved it. I had a great time there. I got a lot of stuff done. Because I was writing.
Shopping.
Yes,
shopping. Cleaning. Very good. We're glad to hear that.
Not so much cleaning. And I went down to Florida, and it wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. There was one theater in town. The movie Twilight played there the entire time I lived there.
Yeah, that'd be enough to get me the hell out of Florida, too. All right.
I was in Key West. It's a lovely place to visit. I suggest y'all go down for a couple of days. Don't move there.
Or go to the movies. So back in Pittsburgh, you've had a very successful career as a columnist for the Washington Observer.
You are correct, sir. I work as a columnist.
I get it right every once in a while.
I work, working for the Observer Reporter. Every Saturday, I have a humor column that comes out.
And what's very exciting, this year, you've become a published author.
Correct. It is actually a compilation of a lot of those columns, which are no longer in print. Right there, Below Average Genius.
The book is Below Average Genius by Michael Buzzelli, a collection of your humor columns. Is selling very well. It's available on Amazon.
Oh yes, for the first couple of weeks on Amazon, that was the #1 book on humor.
Here in Pittsburgh, your humor is very well appreciated. I've seen you perform to very large houses. Oh, that's right. We did stand-up comedy together.
That's correct.
Back in the day. But how would you compare doing stand-up comedy in LA to doing stand-up comedy in Pittsburgh?
That's a good question. The Pittsburgh crowds are more receptive. People are happier here. Yes.
So we should be pleased.
We should be pleased.
And that's a great compliment to for somebody that's done comedy far and wide to say that Pittsburgh audiences are great audiences.
Well, and it's also cheaper to do it here.
Well, and that's a wonderful thing too.
It's cheaper for the audience.
That's a great thing too. These articles that are coming out, and we talk about them a lot here on Burgh Vivant because it's really a great thing for the city that Pittsburgh is a very affordable city to live, one of the best cities to live, and the arts and entertainment are everywhere.
Everywhere.
And they're very accessible and very affordable. That's a wonderful thing.
I have friends in shows this weekend and I can't get to all the things I want to see. I can't get to all of them. There's too many
That's
events.
choking you up there. I can
Yeah,
see
well,
you're
no,
emotional
actually,
about
that was my throat.
No, you're
is
getting
burned.
emotional about it. Let's go with that.
Oh, yeah,
because
okay.
that's how
Yeah,
important.
no, I got people in stuff all weekend, and I can't see that.
That's fantastic. And what we should say on that note is that you have actually signed on to become a Burgh Vivant contributor. So we'll be seeing you here on the program quite a bit in the future, reviewing performances, theatrical productions,
Right.
cabarets, comedy.
Like I said, there's something going on every night. We have comedy in Pittsburgh every night of the week. And as you know, we have so many theaters. We have lots of local theaters. I'm very excited to be a contributor to Burgh Vivant.
We're thrilled to have you because I think you have a very unique perspective on entertainment, and of course, very entertaining. And you used to review theater out in Los Angeles.
I reviewed film and theater in Los Angeles. I've interviewed actors. It's great to be Pittsburgh has a thriving cultural scene, and now a program dedicated. Oh, look, I'm doing a commercial for you.
You're turning around and pitching me. I'm supposed to be pitching you here.
All right, okay.
But how you do go on. And do go on. Oh my God, you're a mess. I'm going to take this away until we talk about it.
Okay.
You like to flash it every 5 goddamn seconds.
Of course I do.
There's no business like show. It was Sydney Greenstreet.
Yes.
And yes, Mr. Spade, it's a blackbird. It's kind of like that historic moment when somebody said, you know, I really love ice cream and I really love chocolate chip cookie dough.
Oh, right.
And they put them together, and as you know, the rest is...
Oh, yes, it's history.
Well, I was going to say clogged arteries, but we'll go with that. You know, when Eartha Kitt died that Christmas, from all around the world, I think 4 people called me and 6 people texted me. Not to say Merry Christmas, how's your family, but to say, oh my God, Eartha Kitt has died. How are you doing? You know, which I thought was spectacular. That was very well coordinated, that sip. That was like an Esther Williams water ballet.
Yes, water ballet. But that's water that stings.